Hey, Dani K, coming to you from Dani K Gym and Wellness. Today's tip is it comes to you from a couple of people here at the gym today, and just a lot of times I get that, and especially what's this month, April. So it's the beginning of April. So usually about March, April-ish, people start getting into that plateauing area because one thing is in January they start their New Year's resolution, right? And then, of course, when you go from being sedentary to actually moving and doing some exercise, the body responds, right? So you don't have to change your eating, you don't have whatever. So you're just being more active, and therefore you see the results, right? So that's what happens from January. You see results. February, you see results. They might be starting to slow down like in March-ish, late March, early April, people start getting frustrated because the results are not happening. They've kind of plateaued. So the thing is, one, make sure that you're changing up your routine. If you don't know how to do that, then seek a professional, a trainer, either at your gym or, talk to me. I've told you before, I can train you via internet. So, I have a closed circuit channel that I can train you. I can train you at your house, at your gym, I can give you those tips, it just one session, whatever it might be, but I can do that for you via internet, even if you're not here in Westminster. If you're here in Westminster, Maryland, and you're at another gym, you can still come in, get a personal training session with me. And a lot of times people do that because I don't know with the other trainers or whatever at their gym, or they don't feel comfortable or whatever it might be. A lot of people come here, they get, training from me and take it back to their house or, their gym, or, sometimes they're not as local, so they can't really utilize my facility as much as they would like. So, but they much rather get the personal training from me, and I can do that for you. So, that said, definitely seek out a professional to change up your routine. If you don't know how to change up your routine, you kind of been working on the same thing, the same incline, the same speed, the same weights, the same, exercises 1 through 8 or whatever you're doing. Change it up. Even if it's the same exercises 1 through 8, do 8 first, then go to 4, then go to 5, then go to 1, then go to 7. Change that up, because that still in itself is a change up, and the body doesn't know what's coming next, right? So, and definitely things that plateau, one main thing that makes people plateau is the lack of proper nutrition. Proper nutrition is 85% of how you're going to see the results and what results you do see. I've said it before, I'm going to say it again, nutrition. Proper nutrition is key. A lot of times people think that, and it is the hardest part. But if you're putting all that freaking energy and effort into, doing your workouts and coming into the gym, or, popping that DVD in, or going to the track, or going to classes, or whatever it is that you're doing as far as your workout regimen, if you're putting all that energy and everything and time into that, don't you want something that's going to help you do something with that, instead of just feel like it's wasted energy and wasted time? And then guess what? If you feel like it's wasted and you're not seeing those results, you're going to stop doing that. So put some effort into proper nutrition. And when I give you a meal plan, I also can do that either if you're here locally in Westminster, Maryland, or via internet. I've done several meal plans with people in Virginia, California, Indiana, PA, so it can happen. So, but if you put all that energy in there and you're not doing the right proper nutrition, you're going to kind of kill that want or whatever to actually work out, because the results aren't going to be there. Just checking in. Let's see. Hey, Doug, what's going on, Dougie? But so, there's several different reasons why you're plateauing. And, if you want to make a list of what you were doing, what you need to do, what you haven't changed, so nutrition is definitely one. Changing up your routine, like I said, even if, sometimes we can't afford a trainer, but even if we take the exercises that we do, because we're all like this society of like, doing the same thing over and over again repetitively because it just feels comfortable. Comfortableness, when you're in the comfort zone, you stop seeing results as well. So like I said earlier, you know, if you have exercises 1 through 8, you know, and if you just change up the order of what you're doing, that in itself shocks your system. Change up the amount of weight that you're lifting. If you've been lifting, you know, I'm just going to say, you know, 60 pounds in a row, you know, like one of those cable rows or machine row. If you've been lifting 60 pounds for forever, change that up. Put 65 on it. Put 70 on it, and see how many. You might not be able to get 3 sets of 10 out, or 12 or 15 or whatever your reps are. You know, but at least you shock the system a little bit so that you see results. It's all about stepping out of the comfort zone with your workouts, obviously, you know, so that you can see those results. Even if you have to back the weights back down after a couple of reps or after a set or two, or halfway through the set, at least you stepped out and you're forcing your body to do something that's uncomfortable. When it's uncomfortable, you'll see change, right? So, you know, that said, you know, the main thing though is the proper nutrition. So if you are plateauing and you are giving it hell in the gym, you know, and you are kind of changing things up to what you do know, if you want to know a little bit more, definitely seek out a trainer, even if it's just 1 session, you know, just to kind of get something different. And then you can do that for, you know, a certain amount of days or whatever, and go back to your old way, go back to the other way. So, you know, you've got 2 kind of routines that you're bebopping back and forth with. Guess what? You're going to see a change. You're going to see a change in that plateau, because your body doesn't know what it's going to be doing. And then for, you know, your third kind of routine or whatever, you can take from what you've been doing, and then from what your trainer had given you, then you can, you know, for your third way of doing it, you can go a couple here and a couple exercises from here and kind of bebop that to make even another day or another couple of times that you can enter the gym and have something different. So the whole thing about plateauing is because you're even, your body knows what's coming next. You have to step out of that comfort zone. So go a little faster on the treadmill, get a little higher incline, get a little heavier weights. If you're only doing cardio, jump into the weight room, you know. I know, I understand it might be a little intimidating sometimes in any gym that you get to, you know, whatever gym that it is, it's scary. So, you know, the fear kind of overplays us, you know, and that's with anything. Comfort zone, you jump out of the comfort zone, you're going to see the results. So, you know, even if you, I know like here at Dani K Gym and Wellness, I give a free orientation to help you see what the machines are, how the machines work, you know, how to set them up for you, your arm length, your size, and all that stuff. So if you've been doing just strictly cardio, jump on the weights, jump on the machines, you know, and kind of, you know, feel your way around there and get a little bit more, you know, comfortable. And that's a good way to get comfortable in the weight room, is to just do some machines. Even if you do just a couple of machines, you know, and then kind of leave or whatever. Come in, do your cardio, do a couple other machines the next day, leave. But as you get into that, you'll feel more and more comfortable, and you'll understand everybody in the gym has their own insecurities. I don't care how buff they are. I don't care how lean they are. I don't care what size they are, how tall, small, whatever. Everybody has their own insecurities, and 9 times out of 10, everybody's looking at themselves and figuring out their own self. They're not worried about you, okay? So we can kind of close that out if you can kind of get through that. Same thing with me. When I first started in, you know, gyms, I was, you know, petrified of the weight room, because I thought, you know, people were going to be bigger, better, stronger, smarter, you know, they would know more than, you know, all that stuff. But that's a fear that we live and we have inside of our own head, in between our 2 ears. So if we can, you know, feel the fear and do it anyway, and fear, what did I always say? False evidence appears real. So everybody has those fears. Everybody has those insecurities. So just kind of inch it a little bit. And like I said, you'll feel better or more secure if you do get a trainer to help you through, you know, like a routine, or even getting that free orientation to see how the machines work. You'll feel a little bit more comfortable. So it's still out of your comfort zone, but you're still hitting the weights, hitting the machines, and then maybe eventually going to the free weights. But it's all about changing things up so that you get out of that plateau. Plateau is when you're comfortable, you know, that comfort zone, and there's nothing changing. If there's nothing changing in your routine or your workout or your foods, that's where you're going to be. You're going to be in a plateau. So you have to do some juggling, you know, with things, with your workout. Like I said, do different orders, increase your weights here and there, little bit by little bit, maybe interject a different kind of exercise, you know, get a trainer, even for just one session, so that you get a little bit different, so you get a couple of different ideas that you can kind of plug together with the stuff that you already know. As far as cardio, if you're always doing a treadmill, incline it, you know, a little bit higher than what you normally do, or speed it up a little bit than you normally do. You can always slow it back down. You know, even if you jog a couple of minutes, you know, you can always slow it back down and walk. Jog a little bit, slow it down and walk a little bit. You know, if there's a rower, get on the rower. Do that for a couple of minutes. You don't have to spend 30 minutes on the rower, because that's how long your cardio session has to be. You can do 5 minutes on the rower because it's something new. Do it while you're fresh and you know, have some energy or whatever, you know, and then the rest of your time get on the treadmill with a different incline or different speeds. You know, same thing with the arc trainer or the elliptical or the bike. Just change things up. Your body is so used to doing something that's why it's plateauing. It worked, but now your body just kind of got to that point where, oh yeah, I know what he's doing. I know what she's doing, you know, and so it doesn't feel like it has to work. So, and I always tell people, when I train them, when I'm talking to them about things like this, you know, if you think about, if you're on an assembly line, okay, if you have 3 or 4 other people ahead of you putting their piece, you know, their pieces in, by the time it gets to you, what if those 3 or 4 other people didn't put their piece in, right? You have to go back and do their piece. And so that, what did that make you do? It made you have to think. It made you have to work. So, you know, I mean, you can fall asleep at the line going, boom, 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 boom. But if you have to think, oh crap, I've got to do this. So you're awake. You're doing this, this, and this to put your piece in. This, this, and this to put your piece in. So you're out of that comfort zone. So now you're a little bit more alive, a little bit more awake. You have to have some energy. You have to put some pep in your step because you're on an assembly line. You have to do everybody else's work. So changing things up makes you think, makes you work. Another thing, think about, you know, when it's easy, you know, like when you drive from your house to work. If it's a clear sunny day, you know how to get there. I know you've been doing this for so many years. Everybody says, oh, I could drive that, you know, blindfolded. Well, think about on a dark night with fog and rain. You know, we all, like, we know from point A to point B, we've driven this for forever. But if the circumstances change a little bit, now we have to think. We have to be a little bit more alert. It's out of our comfort zone. So now we have to, you know, make sure, did we miss a turn? Are we still on the road? That kind of thing. So it's what your body also goes through. Hey, Kevin. Your body also does that with working out, with nutrition. So you have to jumpstart things by changing it up, changing up your routine, changing up the order of your workout, you know, changing up the cardio sessions, maybe do the weights first and then the cardio. Well, that's how I always want you to do, is the weights first and then the cardio. But a lot of times people do the cardio first because they hate it. So they get it done first and then they get the weights in. So just change up routines. But ultimately, the way to get out of that plateau is proper nutrition. Nutrition is 85% of seeing those results. But there's other ways of also, you know, just think about if you're still doing the same thing every single day, change it up, change it up, change it up, so that those results come and then the plateau goes bye-bye, okay? So I hope that helped. Leave me some comments. Tell me, you know, try this for a couple of days and let me know in a couple of days how this has worked for you and how it's kind of, it even regenerates you as far as, you know, gives you a little bit more motivation to get into the gym and do different things, because now you have a different plan, right? You're not doing the same thing, same humdrum thing the whole time, right? So leave me some comments and tell me how this has helped you. Leave me a comment and ask me a question that I can maybe do a tip tomorrow or the next day or whatever for you. So, and also if you have any other questions or you know, something that you want to ask me, private message me. If you want my help, nutrition or training, DaniKGymOWellness.com, Dani K Gym Wellness on Facebook, and Dani K Gym Wellness right here in Westminster, Maryland. So stay in tune, stay informed, stay motivated. Bye.